Judge,
You're welcome.
right over here, man.
Can I have parties announced, please?
Denny Callahan, defense.
And are you Vanessa Miravete?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Welcome to another intense courtroom breakdown. Today we're diving deep into a case filled with emotional tension, a history of family drama, and a life-altering decision. The defendant, Vanessa Miravete, has pled guilty to an assault on an elderly woman, her former partner's grandmother. But what's the real story here? Was this a crime of passion, or is something more sinister at play? We'll get into the details shortly, but keep in mind that there's more than meets the eye. Vanessa is now facing serious consequences. Will she take a deal for probation or risk 2 years in prison? Stick around to find out. And make sure you don't miss the explosive moments that unfold in this courtroom today. We've got twists, we've got shocking testimonies, and yes, a dramatic reveal you won't see coming. Let's break this down.
Complainant in this case, in both cases, misdemeanor, your court, not interested in hurting this woman. She filed a prosecution, but there was a damage made by glass broken up against her eyes, so there was damage. She's remorseful for that. Her plan is to live with a 35-year-old friend of hers that she's known for a couple of years. There's no more contact between the boyfriend and the complainant, who is the boyfriend's grandmother. That's finished. That's over. And she doesn't plan to return to that. I asked the court to consider deferred adjudication with some type of supervision regarding where she's going to live. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. So let me understand this. So the facts of this case are that the elderly person was in an argument with her grandson. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor. The other way.
It says she had been arguing with her grandson and the suspect got involved.
Oh, prior to that, yes, Your Honor. But the real issue was conflict between grandma and her.
All right. You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. You can lower your hand.
At the heart of this case, we've got Vanessa, the 24-year-old defendant who claims to have been under the influence during the incident. But here's the kicker. The story doesn't add up. The police report says she was directly involved in assaulting the grandmother, leaving her with bleeding head injuries. So, was this a case of anger boiling over, or a moment of complete disregard for another person's safety? And how does this affect the emotional tension in the courtroom? You can see that the judge is trying to get to the truth here, and Vanessa's hesitation in her testimony is telling.
What do you think? Is she guilty? Or is there more to this story?
It's not the grandson's house. So you come in and you live with the grandmother and the grandson. And then she gets into an argument with her grandson. And what was that argument about?
I don't remember the exact details due to the fact that
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I don't remember the exact details because I was under the influence.
Under the influence of what? All right.
Talking to my face.
So she's in an argument with her grandson. And then what do?
So I was, I guess, in the middle, I guess. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of abuse.
You have said some things, but you haven't told me.
Here's where things get even more complicated. Vanessa claims she was pushed into the grandmother, but the police report paints a different picture. It says she walked up to the victim and hit her. This is a huge contradiction. Why? Because it directly impacts the severity of the charges. If Vanessa only accidentally caused harm, it's one thing, but if this was a premeditated attack, the consequences are far more serious. And as the judge scrutinizes her statements, we're left wondering, is Vanessa trying to dodge responsibility, or is there more going on behind the scenes?
The grandmother was bleeding from her head and nose. I arrived to the listed location and saw both victim 1 and O1 sitting outside on the porch. Victim 1 had visible injuries on her face and head. Victim had a small cut on the bridge of her nose, which was still bleeding. Victim had a small cut on the top of her head that was covered in blood. Victim also had a lump on the right side of her head. Said
Vanessa's story isn't making much sense. She claims to have been living with her boyfriend and his grandmother for 6 years, yet there's no real clarity on why she was even there after the protective order. The emotions are raw, and you can sense the frustration from the judge as they try to unravel her truth. Is she being completely honest about her situation, or is she hiding something deeper? With each answer, Vanessa's credibility is slipping, and the judge is getting increasingly skeptical. The stakes? They couldn't be higher.
Moment, please, Your Honor. Nothing further, Your Honor.
So why were you not living with your parents? I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
So I'm from Wisconsin and moved at 45.
You're from the what?
From Wisconsin. And so I moved in with him and I was living with him basically for both of them because
Did you have a job?
No.
How long have you been unemployed?
Since I got with my grandson
And how long has that been?
about 6 years ago, 5.
So 6 years you have been unemployed. So why did you leave Wisconsin to hook your life to this person?
It's just being young.
Because your parents said they didn't like him or something?
Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture here. This is a violation of a protective order, and it's not just about a single incident. Vanessa knew the law. She knew she wasn't supposed to contact the victim. So why did she choose to violate it, knowing the severe consequences? We're hearing about threats, intimidation, and even violence. It's no longer just a matter of an argument gone wrong. This is a pattern of behavior that speaks volumes about the defendant's disregard for legal boundaries. This kind of defiance can have long-lasting implications, and the judge knows this all too well.
Taking care of my mom. My mom is disabled, and so I was taking care of her, working at the time, and I had a part-time job going to school, and I was taking care of my mom, which she's disabled, and my little brother who's also with autism. So I felt like I had a lot on my plate, and so I chose to work instead of going to school.
And then you chose to leave them on their own because you wanted your own life.
Well, my mom had got married, and so she met her husband, which he still takes care of.
Now things take a turn. Vanessa admits she hasn't worked in 6 years and relies on her boyfriend's grandmother for support. She's emotionally vulnerable, and the judge is recognizing the complexity of her situation. But is this enough to justify her actions? No. Her story doesn't absolve her of responsibility. In fact, it complicates things further. We've got to ask ourselves, if you're in a tough situation, does that give you the right to hurt someone else? It's a tough question, but it's one that's weighing heavily on this courtroom.
Violation of protective order, the offense date.
December 17, 2024. This happened November 27th.
All right. So you want to tell me about this violation of protective order?
So I'd never been in trouble before, so I didn't realize whenever I didn't know how the law worked basically.
Well, I mean, if somebody tells you, if you receive an order saying that you can't contact somebody, that's how the law works. The order says you can't contact them.
Yeah.
So continue.
So I had went to pack my stuff, and so I was getting ready to leave, and I guess the grandson had got mad that I was getting ready to leave because I was wanting to leave him too. I was with him for 6 years, on and off abusive relationship. So because I didn't really have family here in San Antonio, it was harder for me to just walk away from the relationship.
All right. And what is this case about? The violation of protective order?
So essentially,
Let's wrap this up. After much deliberation, the judge has decided on 8 years of deferred adjudication with strict conditions. Vanessa must prove she's capable of turning her life around, and there's a hefty fine, community service, and educational requirements in place. But there's a catch. If she fails to follow through, she could face up to 10 years in prison. The lesson here: actions have consequences, and when you break the law, there's no escaping the reality of it. It's a powerful reminder that our choices shape our future.
Me makes absolutely no sense. You have a protective order that you're not supposed to be there. You go there anyway. And now you're saying that you were hiding in the closet because the boyfriend told you to hide in the closet.
Well, he was very abusive. He had weapons and things like that. So I was very afraid of him. My family could testify to the abuse as well. They had called the police on him multiple times before all this occurred.
And when they called the police on him before, what did you do? Did you do an affidavit of non-prosecution or say, my family is not telling the truth?
So they never gave me the option or explain that to me how the affidavits work.
No, I mean, it's either you said yes or no, because times have changed. When police are called out for an abusive situation, your attorney will tell you somebody's getting arrested.
Yeah. So
Now, after the
he
fact,
would get arrested, and his sister would bail him out within a few hours. So he would be home immediately after being arrested. So even when he had a protective order, the first time he got arrested, he was still back and he was.
Because that's the protective order, the house you were staying in, that's not your house. That's his grandmother's house. You all are adults just decided to impose yourself on his grandmother. You're there, you don't have a job, and you're just living off the grandmother.
No.
And now, no, you told me that you haven't worked in 5 years or 6 years.
Yeah, so due to the relationship, I wasn't able to work, and I also didn't have, like, my birth certificate for a long time, so I had to get it sent out.
Here's the thing. I don't even know if you understand what you're saying to me. You keep changing your story. You told me you didn't have employment, that you hadn't worked for 5 to 6 years. And then now you're telling me, no, I wasn't just living off the grandmother. I had my own money. No, you didn't. I mean, you're saying, but you're telling me completely different stories. And now you're telling me that you have a 35-year-old that you're going to live with. Who is this 35-year-old?
It's a friend of mine.
Who?
I don't know who this is. It's a friend of mine.
What's the name?
I'm Jennifer
Jennifer.
Ramos.
And where did you meet her?
So me and her know each other through mutual friends, and then we met. I don't know, I guess like in the neighborhood and stuff.
I'm sorry, met what?
In the neighborhood, I guess, or
So you're just meeting people in the neighborhood and now you're going to live with them? Does she have any children? What are their ages?
23. She has a 23-year-old, a 15-year-old. And then she has one that I think is like 10 or something.
All right. So if I give you probation, I'm not allowing you to live in homes that have children in them. So, and do you know who all lives in that home other than her and the children?
No, it's just them. It's just them.
Are you sure? Have you been to the house?
Yes.
Do you know she has a boyfriend?
She doesn't have a boyfriend.
All right. So when have you been to the house?
So I was there once. I don't remember exactly when, like I said, I was like.
Is that before or after the protective order?
That was before.
All right. Counsel, I don't know if she would be a good candidate for probation. I really don't know.
The remedy of sending to prison is a far worse remedy than trying to find a place for her to live, Your Honor.
Well, I know the state is asking for the minimum, and she applied for deferred adjudication.
He suggests going back to family Wisconsin.
What I can tell you is you've applied for deferred adjudication. The state, according to the plea bargain agreement, they're asking that if I find you guilty, that your punishment be sentenced to 2 years in the prison. That's the minimum. If I grant your application for deferred adjudication and you're unsuccessful, you're looking at 10 years in the prison, potentially. Do you understand? So I can grant your application for deferred adjudication, or I can sentence you to 2 years in the prison. And the conditions that you receive are the conditions that you receive from me. There's no need to argue about the conditions that I'm going to set for you if I grant your application. So do you want the minimum 2 years in prison, or do you want to be on deferred adjudication with the court's conditions? Are you sure? Because let me just tell you, you know yourself better than your attorney knows you, better than I know you. I know that you've been dishonest with me today, but your choices are, and you need to think long and hard about it. 2 years is the minimum. The range of punishment for this offense is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison. If I grant you deferred adjudication, if for some reason your deferred adjudication is revoked, you're looking at potentially 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine. So you know whether or not you can complete this successfully or not. Part of being on probation is you are not allowed to use drugs, period. There's no marijuana, there's no Xanax, none of that. And I'm not going to allow you to reside in any home with children. You're an adult. You need to get your own place. You need to stop depending on other people. Do you understand? So do you want the 2 years in the prison, or do you want deferred adjudication? All right. Yes. Yes. All right. This is what the court will do. The court is going to sentence you to 8 years deferred adjudication. There's a $1,500 fine. Time and money will run concurrently. Oh, I'm sorry, state. Oh, you're right. Thank you. State your excuse. I appreciate that. So there's a $1,500 fine probated. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no residing with minors or anyone over the age of 55. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Carmen Rivas or Hector Rivas. This is to run concurrent with 2025 CC 003873. Can I see the MIC evaluation again, please? Thank you. In custody, the following: a referral to felony drug court and a TAP evaluation. If not accepted in felony drug court, follow all TAP recommendations. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. 100 of those hours will be deemed satisfied. You're going to obtain your GED. Do you understand?
Yes.
And the other 100 hours will be deemed satisfied if she obtains some type of trade school certificate or higher level of education. Do you have any children?
No,
All right, and you're saying you're thinking about a transfer to Wisconsin? Which county?
I'm not sure the exact county, but it's in Milwaukee.
All right, let me see what Google tells us. They're saying it's Milwaukee County. So transfer to county, field visits 1 time per month until further notice, and 90 sober meetings in 90 days. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right, did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, yes.
Judge, can you repeat the sober support meetings and anger management possibly?
Yes, I'll add anger management. All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, before you get in another relationship with anyone else, you need.
If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns. This case shows how the law can be both harsh and forgiving, but ultimately justice always finds a way. See you in the next one.